So now let's start doing with the questions, error spotting questions in terms of our verb tense errors also. But we will not look only for verb tense errors. The error could be of anything in terms of noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, whatever we have done related to anything, these errors could be there, right? So after you will return from Mumbai, I will come to meet you. Now will is the future tense, right? So will is used in the future tense and after is used for the time clause. So in the time clause, we never use the future tense. So in the time clause, we use only the present tense. So in time clause, use present tense. We don't use future tense, is wrong over here. So that's why A is the right answer. From Mumbai is a prepositional phrase. I will come to meet you is again a future. So that is fine. So get rid of B, C and D. A is the right answer. Next question. My father has left for Mumbai or Bombay last Saturday. So it clearly mentioned that the activity has happened when? Last Saturday. Right? So the activity has happened on the last Saturday. So when something has happened clearly on the last Saturday, we have to use the simple past. So when the activity has happened on last Saturday, we know the activity has happened in the past. So we need to have the simple past over here. We don't need has left over here. We just need the left. We don't need has over here. Clear? So get rid of A, C and D. B is the right answer. Next one. I used to study till 10 p.m. and then I go to bed. Now when I say I used to study is a past habitual action, right? The habit which you had it in your past, right? So the entire sentence has to be in the past tense. So when we cannot have the khichdi of the tenses. First one verb is in the past tense and another one in the present tense. Go to bed is in the present tense. How can you have the khichdi? I told you always maintain the consistency. So the verb must be consistent. First one is in the past tense. The second one also has to be in the past tense. To go is wrong. We'll use the past tense of go, went. Clear? So next, get rid of A, B and D. Mark C as the right answer. Next one. Air pollution caused by industrial fumes has been studied for years, but only recently has the harmful effect of the noise pollution became known. Right? In this, what is the problem? Let's see. See, when we look at it, it says that air pollution caused by the industrial fumes has been studied. So has been studied and air pollution, subject verb agreement is there. The verb tense is also fine. We can get rid of it. For years, that is also fine because for is used for the total number of years. But only recently has the harmful effects of noise pollution became. So only recently what? Has is the singular form of the verb. So what has been recently? The harmful effects. Effects is the plural subject. So if effect is plural, has is the singular subject. The subject verb agreement is not there. We need to put the have over here. Clear? So the error is with the B. We will get rid of C and D. Mark B as the right answer. The judge asked the men if the bag he had lost contained 5,000 rupees. Now the consistency of the tense is again not there. The judge asked. Asked is in the past tense. The bag he had lost. So had lost is again in the past only. Contain is in the present tense. So the consistency of the verbs must be there. You cannot have two in the past tense and the one verb in the present tense. This contain also should be in the form of contained. So mark C is the right answer. Get rid of A, B and D. Next one. As you can see by my visiting card that now I am in Mumbai. So as you can see perfectly fine by my visiting card that now in Mumbai. Everything is perfectly fine. Get rid of A, B and C. Mark D, no error. Next one. The ministry was considered several proposals. So was considered, why we need was considered over here? We have to use the simple present tense for the development of a small and medium. For the development of small and medium enterprise during budget discussions, all are prepositional phrases. So was considered cannot be the right verb. The right verb should be, the sentence is in the simple past. So the right answer is only considered. We don't need was over here. So right answer is A. Get rid of B, C and D. Next one. Having worked in both public and private sector banks, she is the most suitable person to take over the post of the chairman. So now here from the sentence we come to know that this action is in the past. So when she has already worked, that is when she has come to know, because she has worked in the both public and private sector. So it has to be in the past form, worked. So get rid of B, C and D. Mark A as the right answer. Next one. He started a very small business 2 years ago, but it grew very fast as the country is experiencing a boom at that time. So started is in the past tense, simple past tense, right? Grew is also in the simple past tense. Now this is in the is experiencing is in the present continuous. We can understand that we need a continuous tense, but why present? We should use the past because the consistency has to be there. No khichdi of tenses or anything. Everywhere the consistency has to be there. So it has to be as the country was experiencing a boom at that time. So get rid of A, B and D. Mark C as the right answer. Next one. Keeping in mind the current market conditions, it has better for us to invest the infrastructure. Now, keeping in mind it is better for us. So the sentence is in the present tense. We need a present tense over here. So why do you need has over here? It is better for us to invest in the infrastructure. So let's get rid of A, C and D. Mark B as the right answer. Next one. Since I had lived there for many years, the villagers were very comfortable, talked to me about their problems. Now, since is used, right? So since is talking about the time I had lived there. It is the past perfect tense. The villagers were very comfortable. So were is in the simple past. So which means these two are perfectly fine. Talked to me. Comfortable, talk to me. It should be what? Talked is wrong. The comfortable in what? Talking to me. We need the verb continuous tense, talking to me. But comfortable, talking to me. So we need the past continuous tense over here. We're very comfortable talking to me. We don't need this part over here. So we mark C as the right answer. D is the wrong. Next one. Our equipments gets damaged very often in summer because there are too many power cuts. So yeah, that is the usual phenomena, right? So this gets is fine. Damage, no, it should be damaged. We need the past over here. Damaged very often in summer. So here we need the past because there are too many power cuts. Because this is in the passive voice. So in the passive voice, the third form of the verb is used. See, our equipments get damaged very often in summer because there are too many power cuts. So the sentence itself is in the passive form. In the passive form, we use the third form of the verb. Clear? So the right answer is B. Get rid of A, C and D. Next one. Most children like to rest in the afternoon after they returned from school, but my son seems to have an inexhaustible source of energy. Now, most children like, the liked is in the past tense. After they returned from home, this is also in the past tense. Now, my son seem is in the present tense. There should not be any thing. It should be seemed. So now next question, our equipments gets damaged very often in summer because there are too many power cuts. So our equipments gets, we are talking about something which is a routine or a habit or routine activity. But we are talking about something which happens in the past, right? Because the sentence is in the passive voice. So when the sentence is in the passive voice, we know that we use the sentences in the passive voice. So that time we have to use the third form of the verb. So damage will not be there. So it has to be damaged. Very often in the summer, because there are too many power cuts. Get rid of A, B, C and D. Mark B as the right answer. Next one. Most children like to rest in the afternoon after they return from the school. Right? So liked is in the past tense. Returned is also in the past tense. But seems is in the present tense. It has to be in the seemed. We have to maintain the consistency of the sentence, right? The verb tense, everywhere this verb should be in the same tense only. The cutting down on costs was the main reason for the firm to survive even during the period, during a very difficult period. So cutting down on costs is fine, no error. Was the main reason. So what was the main reason? The cutting down the costs, right? Was the main reason for the firm to survive even during a difficult period. So all are correct. So there's no error. Mark D as the right answer. Next one. I will go for the swimming classes tomorrow. So I will go for the swimming classes tomorrow if I have recovered from fever. Now if is a hypothetical or a conditional clause. Hypothetical or a conditional clause, we can say here the condition is being given. So since the conditional clause is there, we know we cannot use the have recovered, the present perfect tense, we cannot use it in the conditional clause. In conditional clause we use only the simple present tense. In conditional clause only simple present we have to use. So it should be only recover. Have recovered is the present perfect tense, which is wrong. So get rid of A, B and D. C is the right answer. Next one. The principal announced in the school assembly that the school fees will be hiked from the beginning of the next academic year. Now the principal announced is in the simple past in the school assembly that the school fees will be hiked. So you're talking about something which will happen, right? So the sentence is in the indirect speech. So when the sentence is in the indirect speech, we have to use the would. We cannot use will. We'll use would. We'll say would be hiked from the next beginning of the academic session. So get rid of A, B and D. Mark C as the right answer. Next one. The terrorists did not confess his crime even till the very end of his trial and said that he was innocent. So everything is in the past, we understand. But with the did, whenever you use did, the next verb should be in the simple present only. We don't use it in the past tense. It has to be did confess, right? So did get, did speak, right? Did write. We don't say did wrote or did spoke, right? So here also it has to be confess. So get rid of A, C and D. Mark D as the right answer. Next one. If the industrial sector continues to grow. Okay, so this is the if clause. Continues is fine. At the same rate for the next few months. At the same rate for the next few months. Prepositional phrases over here. I think it has a high growth this year. So it has a high growth. We should think that it will have as it, because it's a future, because it's talking about if it continues, then in future it will have the high growth. I think it will have, because here we are talking about future. We are not talking about this tense. So A, B and D get rid of. Mark C as the right answer. Next one. Results find that boys played not only more than girls but also performed better in many fields. So now parallelism has to be there. Played is the past tense. Now how you can say find in the present tense? The consistency has to be there. This performed also is in the past. So this one also should be in the past only. So it should be found. Maintain consistency. All the verbs should be in the same tense. Next one. Celebrating his 10 years celebrating his 10 long years in the film industry, the actor announced that he would be doing a new show on television, which would be done completely free of cost. So the sentence would be doing, would be done, right? So it is in the past, right? The sentence is in the past tense. So when the sentence is in the past tense, how can you have announced? It should be announced, right? So while he was celebrating, that time he announced that he would be doing. In future, he would be doing something, right? He's talking about something like that. So get rid of A, C and D, mark B as the right answer. Had I known the weather forecast earlier, I would not make plans to go out. So would not make is the wrong tense. So had I known the weather forecast earlier, till here everything is fine over here. But here would, we are using would not make. Now when you say when would not make, it should be replaced by would not have made, because it is had is in the past, right? So make is in the present. We need to make this also in the past tense. So imaginary sentences will always be in the past, and the would have and third form of the verb. So here it is the imaginary situation. In imaginary situation, we will have the would have plus third form of the verb. This is the rule, right? So which is why would have, I would not have made. So it should be would not have made is the part which we will write it down. So answer is C. Get rid of A, B and D. So let's move ahead to the next question. It says that most of the students from Anil Nair classes have successful in reaching the second level of competition. Now we have been learning till now that whenever the has and have is there, with that we need the third form of the verb. So third form of success is not successful, it is succeeded, right? So have successful is wrong over here, it should be have succeeded. So get rid of A, C and D, mark B as the right answer. Next one, workers struggled to build the bridge after the bridge was damaged last night. So now the workers struggled to build the bridge after the bridge was damaged. So was damaged is the past tense. How you can have the first verb in the present tense, and the entire sentence gives us the story of past. So it has to be struggled. We have to add struggled over here. Maintain the consistency of the tense. So struggle is wrong. It should be struggled. Past tense. So your right answer is A. Get rid of B, C and D. Next one. The newspaper which does not accept advertisements and is funded entirely by donations describes itself as the most popular newspaper on the planet. Now let's look at the errors. The newspaper which does not accept advertisements, till here is fine, and is funded entirely. This is sentence itself, if you look into, it's in the passive voice, isn't it? So when it is in the passive voice, we need the past tense. We don't need fund over here, right? We need the third form of the verb. So funded, third form of the verb. Clear? So in the passive voice, the third form of the verb is used. So newspaper which does not accept advertisement and is funded entirely by donations. So we know by is coming, so that means it is the passive voice. With the help of by we came to know. Clear? So let's move ahead to the next question. The members of the musical group have accepted that they have been contributing money from their pockets in the initial years to meet the expenses of the group. Now the members of the group have accepted. They have accepted. That is the present perfect tense aa gaya pehle to. That they have been contributing. This action has taken place in the past from their pockets in the initial years to meet expenses of the group. So initially the first action should always be in the past perfect. So it should be had been contributing. It should be past perfect continuous tense. So had been contributing. So your right answer is B. Get rid of A, C and D. Next one. I took my children to watch some children's film being screened in the city. Now here itself, when I read itself, I find it, there is the issue over here. So I took is in the past tense. My children to watch some children's movie which is being screened. It should be which is screened in the city. So C is the error. Get rid of A, B and C. A, B and D. C is the right answer. The principal of the school does not believe that the teachers are working hard all these days. The principal of the school does not believe that the teachers are working hard all these days. So it should be present perfect continuous tense. So the principal of the does not believe. This is in the first action, right? The second action should be the are working. So this is the second action. The first action should be in the present perfect continuous tense. So it should be have been working. So present perfect continuous tense is the error over here. We don't need the present continuous. We need the present perfect continuous. So get rid of A, B and D. The right answer is C. I remember in my youth I was used to go with my father to his shop and looked into his account books. So it's a past habitual action. We are talking about past habitual action. So when the past habitual action is there, we use the simple past. So I remember in my youth I used to go. It should be used to go. So go is already there. So we just say used. We don't need was over there. So get rid of B, C and D. We need only A. Next one. I missed the last bus which I usually catch and have to stay back at the bus stop last night. I missed the bus which I usually catch and had to stay back. So this is the first action. Should be the past perfect tense and had to. So the first action was I had to stay back at the bus stop last night. Right? It's a cause-effect relationship. Had to stay back. So get rid of A, C and D. B is the right answer. Next one. Why does he worry over petty matters and issues is not known even to his parents. See, it's not an interrogative sentence. When it is not the interrogative sentence, we cannot have the subject in the middle of the two verbs of the verb phrase. It's not interrogative. It's a simple assertive sentence is there. So when the simple assertive sentence is there, we don't need does over here. Right? So you can have WH word, subject and then the verb. It is simply assertive sentence. So we don't need does over there. So get rid of B, C and D. Mark A as the right answer. Next one. Leaders enable a group by imagining and create a future which will fulfill the purpose of the group. Now consistency has to be there. The leader enable a group by imagining. It's in the ing form. And create a future. Now imagining and creating. It should be consistency has to be there. Both should be in the ing form. So get rid of A, C and D. Mark B as the right answer. Her goal is to win a gold medal in the Asian Games and made her country proud. So is to win is in the present tense. Now this is in the past tense. How it can be? It should be make. Right? So get rid of A, B and D. Mark C as the right answer. Her firmly belief that in any disease, if any disease is detected early, then it can be cured by yoga. So her firmly belief is no, it's her firm belief. We don't need an adverb. This is an adverb and this is noun. Anything which tells about the noun is adjective. So we need the adjective is equal to firm over here. Right? So get rid of B, C and D. Mark A as the right answer. Next one. Ramesh takes charge of the project within a few days of appointment. So he was appointed and within that time he took, right? So it cannot be present tense. We don't need the present tense. We need a past tense over here. The simple past tense. This is in the present tense. Simple present. We don't need a simple present over there. We need a simple past. So it should be Ramesh took charge. Right? So the answer is A. Get rid of B, C and D. Next one. Economists have predicted that the country's economic growth falls low to 8% this year. Yeah, let's do this question. Economists have predicted that the country's economic growth falls low to 8% this year. So here we are talking about something which is happen in the future, right? So they predicted that the country's economic growth will fall low. So something they predicted. So it has to be, when the word predict is there, they're predicting the future. So it should be will fall as low to 8% this year. So get rid of A, B and D. Mark C is the right answer. Next one. Now the set 2 is there. Hi all, a very warm welcome to Anil Nair classes. I'm Sheetal, your English trainer. Let's do some more questions related to your tenses, and in the process of solving these questions, we'll also come across a lot of other errors also, but the errors will be as of now related to the things which we have already done, like your nouns, pronouns, subject verb agreement, noun pronoun agreement, and noun agreement. So all the things which we have, all the concepts which we have learned, you have to keep it in mind, and then you have to solve these questions. So it's very important that keep revising the stuff which we have discussed. So if your basics are strong, then definitely you will be having a better hold over your concepts, and then you can get many questions right. So focus on concepts, focus on understanding the question, revising the rule with each and every question. So if you are solving some 10 questions, then each time you should be at least revising those 10 rules which are related to that particular set of the thing, right? So let's solve the questions. I have not seen him since 20 years, and so I cannot say with certainty whether he is alive or dead. So I have not seen him since 20 years. So we have already learned that for we use when the complete time is given. Right? So the complete time is given, but since is used when the starting time is given. So here for 20 years is a complete time. So when complete time is given, we don't need since, we use for. So if your rules are clear, then it becomes easy for you to solve these questions. Clear? So we mark A as the right answer. Get rid of B, C and D. Next one. Whenever he is coming here, he brings a lot of problems for me. Now, this is a repeated whenever he is coming here. So it's a repeated action. So that means it is his habit, right? Or action which is repeated. What we have learnt is anything which is repeated action or a habitual action, we use the simple present tense over here, right? So sun rises in the east, he gets up early in the morning, right? He goes for a walk, so he goes to gym. So here it is a habitual action or a repeated action. We cannot say the present continuous tense over here. We have to use whenever he comes here. So get rid of B, C and D. Mark A as the right answer. Next one. It is appearing to me that you are complaining against my friends and relatives. Now here the verb is appearing. Now always remember, with the verb appear, we never use ing form. Right? With the verb appear, we don't use ing form. Simple. Remember this. Right? So this will help you. There are certain things which you have to understand. Certain things are there which you have to memorize. So keep revising them. With each question, if you learn the rule, if you revise the rule, and when you will ultimately take it in your test, then it will become easy for you, right? So it has to be appears. It appears to me, right? So get rid of B, C and D. Mark A as the right answer. The old man who is sitting on the bench lived here for more than a month. So lived is the verb over here, right? So lived is the verb. So we need that she lived, he already lived. So is sitting is like presently sitting, but lived here for more than a month. So time clause is given over here. Time is given, right? So when the time is given, we want to say the present perfect continuous. So it has to be who, the old man who has been sitting. So lived here for more than a verb. Is sitting on the bench is right now. But the time clause is given over here. So when the time clause is given, we need the, see, this is in the present tense. This is in the past tense. So in one sentence, we cannot give the khichdi.
This one thing you remember. Now you see, if by this itself you know that one of them has to be wrong. Either the present has to be wrong or the past has to be wrong. So, but the clue how to identify whether A is wrong or B is wrong is here the time is given, right? So when the time is given and the previous one is in the present tense, so what we have learned is, so when the other action is given, one is in the present tense, the other one will be in the present perfect tense when the time is given. So it has to be who's sitting on the bench has been living here, for has been living here. So it has to be present perfect continuous tense. This is what we need over here. Clear? We need a present perfect continuous tense. So get rid of A, C and D. Mark B as the right answer. So understood how when the two differences there, how you understood B is the wrong answer. A misogynist is a person who hate a woman, but a phylogynist is a person who loves a woman. So now is what? Is the singular verb. Subject who is a person, he is a misogynist, right? So it is the singular subject. So here the perfect is there. Who is the relative pronoun? Relative pronoun takes the number of the antecedents. Over here the antecedent is person. So person is singular. Right? So hate is the plural form of the verb. So this is what is wrong. We need hates over here. Clear? So because the subject verb agreement is not there, who is again dependent on the person over here. So this who also depends upon the person. So here we have love. So this is fine. Get rid of A, C and D. Mark B is the right answer. Next one. The secret of his sound health lies in the fact that he is getting up before sunrise and goes for a morning walk. The secret of his sound health. Is the prepositional phrase. Get rid of it. Lies is the singular verb. Secret is the singular subject. In the fact is the prepositional phrase. That is a conjunction over here. He is getting up. It is in the present continuous tense over here. Now before sunrise and goes is the simple present. So subject verb agreement to fine hai in C, right? But we have to see the consistency of the tense. One before and after the conjunction also the consistency has to be there. After the verb you are putting conjunction, you are putting in the simple present, and before you are putting in the present continuous. How it could be? So this is only here we find out that the error is there, right? So now what should be the right thing? So it is talking about something which he does, right? It's a habit. We are talking about the habit, a usual action. So uske liye to we need the simple present only. So is getting up is wrong. So we will put gets up. Clear? Next one. As soon as he reach home, he will send you the books. Now as soon as is a conjunction. He is the subject over here. It's a singular subject. Reach is the plural form of the verb. So who reach home? He. If he is singular, plural verb is not needed. So we need the reaches. So get rid of A, C and D. Mark B is the right answer. Next one.
Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.